Political parties in Nigeria continue to face internal crises, threatening their stability and the nation's democratic progress. Recent events, including the prolonged leadership tussle with the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the fallout from the 2023 general elections, including disagreements over the party's performance and litigation against some key candidates, has further exposed cracks in the party structure. Most recently, clashes with the National Executive Committee, NEC meetings, and accusations of marginalization have fueled discontent among stakeholders. Former presidential candidate, Zenith Labour Party ZLP, that's Dan Nwuanyanwu, joins us now to discuss lingering crises in political parties and causes, among other issues. Good afternoon, Mr. Nwuanyanwu. Many thanks for joining us here on Newsday.
Thank you for having me, Cynthia. The name is Nwuanyanwu, N-W-A, not I-W-U.
Duly noted. Thank you, Mr. Nwuanyanwu. Good afternoon. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Very well, very well.
Thank you. Now let's just start from what your potential view might be about the root causes of the persistent crises that plague Nigeria's major political parties. What would you say is at the root of it all?
Well, one of the causes may have to do with not keeping to party's rules, which is the Constitution. The other one will be ambition, inordinate ambition, and they are attained by some members, good members, to shortchange other members of the party. That one wouldn't be too much a problem if they do it by the rules. Every political party has a constitution. And the constitution is the Bible or the Quran that guides the party amongst themselves. If the constitution provides that certain things be done in a particular manner in the party, if you don't do those things or such a thing in that manner provided for in the Constitution, in the eyes of the Constitution and any other law after, that thing has not been done. So if you see most of these problems, some people wake up, they try to look for one way to circumvent the Constitution, and then the other one will be somebody's inordinate ambition. Maybe he thinks that the leadership will not give him what he wants or whatever he wants to become in the party. Then he will start, raising dust, trying to subvert the Constitution. I think these are the main few reasons. I don't want to talk about external influence. It works when members of the party allows that to happen.
All right, you're talking about working when members of the party allow it to happen. Some have said that the decadence we've seen with internal politics or internal democracy within the political parties is reflective of what we see in the broader sphere here in Nigeria. That if political parties and its members cannot govern themselves, then why are we surprised that when these people are sent into office, they cannot live up to expectation? After all the political parties in Nigeria, majority of them have internal politics and internal wranglings one way or the other.
Well, a political party that decides on its own not to adhere to its rules, when by whatever reason it gets to power or into office at any level, it will still be undemocratic. It will still be doing unconstitutional things. Because I'm show they got to office by not obeying the rules. And he would think that he will continue to do that, go that way. You see, a party constitution must be obeyed by every political party. If in a political party, you have ways to elect your officers, you have ways to remove your officers, you have ways to resolve certain issues. Please, for all intents and purposes, go by those rules. The action in a political party should not be based on the whims and caprices of an individual or group of individuals. They will turn out to turn the party into a caricature. And that's why you see some of these things happening today. Because certain persons in the party has assumed ownership of a political party, or they have assumed that they are numero uno of the party, and they cannot do otherwise than to dictate what happens in the party. In a political party, for example, there are rules on how to call a meeting. Nobody wakes up to summon a meeting. The chairman will consult and then direct the national secretary to summon a meeting. The national secretary cannot suo moto on his own summon a meeting. That is the process, for example. If this is done without this combination I have told you, it becomes ultra vires the constitution of the party. So you're bound to have a problem. If a constitution says that this thing should be done in this way, you refuse to do it that way and did it another, you must find somebody in the party that will challenge that rascality. And that is how you have crisis in the party. I agree with you. Parties, if the rules are obeyed, you won't have crisis in the party. If congresses are held, conventions are held, where officers are elected, and it came out transparently and openly, members will accept it and congratulate the winner because it was transparent, it was free, it was fair. But any attempt to change the list of delegates for a Congress, for certain persons to emerge, you are bound to have crisis. Those who change will not let it go. That's how you have multiplicity of cases in court, challenging actions and inactions of authorities in a party. So these are some of the things you have. You should not run the party as if it's a family. You should not run the party as if it's your own. You are all and all. Yes, you may be the major beneficiary. You may be, the major contributor to the party. You may put all your money there. But with your money alone, you may not have been registered as a party. And that's why in the Act, you must have at least 24 members from 24 states, different states in the country. I'm talking of federal character. The lawmakers were not stupid when they say, look, in your national executive, you must have tutors from different states of the federation. Where you come in a party, you don't have that. You concentrate in a particular area. That party is giving itself up for deregistration. There are many ways that this crisis come about. And sometimes it's caused by members, by officials who are very greedy, who wants to take everything on their own for themselves without thinking about the party.
Well said, especially your point on if rules are obeyed in parties, then we would probably have fewer problems. But I'd like to ask how you would assess the current state of opposition politics in Nigeria ahead of the 2027 elections.
Well, the opposition parties have their own peculiar problems. Problem of funding. And of course, you cannot do anything without proper funding. But the parties are meeting. The parties are discussing. At that level, political parties may get it right. They may be strategic. But down the ladder, when you are talking about voters, that is where the money bags come in. And you'll be shocked that all you thought you got right will turn opposite. But yet, opposition parties win elections, even with or without money. You see, we have heard that there is attempt to have a one-party state. I have not given it a thought because I know it's not possible. And I have not seen even any attempt to turn Nigeria into a one-party state. I have not seen it. If on your own, your members on their own decided to go somewhere else or to move into the ruling party, you are not going to blame the ruling party. They did not ask him to come. Maybe he has cases with the EFCC, ICPC. Maybe the law of first self-preservation is what is utmost in his mind. Maybe they are chasing him over certain misfeasance, certain actions and inactions he did while occupying office or holding public office. So you won't blame the ruling party. They have gone there to save their head temporarily. Don't forget, crime and criminality has no expiration date. It may resurrect 20 years after, and you face the same rule. So when people jump and move, I don't see it. You see, go and read the rise and fall of empires. That emperors rise and fall, it is natural. Like what is happening in one of the big opposition parties today. It is something they created by themselves. And I've told some of them who are very close to me. Unfortunately, they lost a man, or we lost a man that would have put this thing together. And that is High Chief Alero Raymond Dokwesi. If he was alive, this crisis in PDP wouldn't have gone this far. Because he has the temerity, he has the intelligence and brilliance, he has the strategy to get everybody back. When President Jonathan lost the election, officers of the PDP and everybody flew away, like when you cut down the Iroko tree that was housing birds. Everybody flew away. It was the one that brought them together in this day dome at the central area. And that's why they say, so we can still be a party. Let me tell you. The problem of the party started with one, not obeying its rules. I've told some of them, I have many friends who interact. You must obey your rules, your conventions, and your agreements. They have said power must shift. Power refused to shift. People felt offended. That is one. Two, the party fought against President Jonathan, their candidate. I have said this before, I've said it in many places. Nobody has challenged me. They were saying one thing before President Jonathan, but when they get back where the votes will be cast, they say don't vote for President Jonathan. So how do you go to war divided? I have cited an example when the then national chairman of the party, Alhaji Muazu, said before me, before Rubebe, that the North will not vote for President Jonathan. We were 26,000 feet above sea level in Air Force One.
All right,
going to take a rest.
Mr. Dan Nwuanyanwu, I want to say thank you very much.
So these are some of the
for your time. It's unfortunate we've run out of time, but we want to say thank you very much for your contributions today on this.